In today's video, we're going to check out my first 5 favorite things about Google Lighthouse using it in Element Inspector or Chrome DevTools. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch My Work live stream number 103 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. Just going live stream just once a week right now, with Maintenance Mondays being recorded and edited and a little much tighter than they were. So anyways, if you are watching live, please say hi in chat, and also give the video a like. That'll help others to find it. So today's video is brought to you by mysites.guru. Head on over to mysites.guru and get a free site audit for your Joomla site. While you're there, check out all the tools, time-saving tools and educational tools and learning tools and business tools that you can use in managing one or multiple Joomla sites. And if you decide to subscribe, use the coupon code BASICJoomla to get your first month free. Zulima, hello in chat, and Ivor and Chuck. All right, so let's cut to the chase. How do I change screens again? Right, here we go. That one there. Okay, there's the mysites.guru site, so you recognize it when you get over there. So the other day I was doing a bunch of work trying to figure out how to get sites to go faster, and did a bunch of work on the basic Joomla site, which is sometimes neglected. Serge is here for 5 minutes. Hello, Serge. And Edza, hello to you. 5 minutes is 5 minutes, but I appreciate that, Serge. And so as I got playing around with things and looking using Google Lighthouse right in Chrome Element Inspector, I thought, hey, this would be pretty cool. Now, if you watched Maintenance Monday, you saw that my tip was to use it. In dark mode. All right, so let's check out my first 5 favorite things about this. Appreciate that, Serge. Serge is going to watch tomorrow. I like people watching the replays too. It's nice to have people here live, but it's also nice to have them watch the replays. All right, so to get to Element Inspectors, 2 ways you can do that. You can hit F12 on your keyboard, and that will bring it up at the bottom. Or you can, let's turn that off, or you can just right-click on something on your page, go down to Inspect, and that will bring it up, and it'll actually show you exactly right where you were clicking as well. So let's see here. Probably my picture's going to be in the way for a little bit here, but I think that will be fine. All right, so my first favorite thing about Lighthouse here in Chrome DevTools is that you can do an individual test for desktop or mobile. All right, so here we are. We have our options in DevTools here. I'm going to click Lighthouse, and over here we have mobile or desktop. So let me just turn all of these categories on here. I'll leave that one off for now. Mobile. So we can click here and go generate report. And it's going to take a look at our pages on a mobile device, run some scans, do some checking out some things, and then you will get your score down below. That's pretty good. One of the things that's going to be recurring about my first 5 favorite things here is the ability to drill down and be focused on one task. Because when we look at performance, accessibility, practice, best practices, SEO, I don't do progressive web app, but that's a whole new area for me to learn. But you know, you can kind of get distracted by all the things to look at down here. What will you look at? And probably what I would recommend is, when you're working on the speed of your site, just pick one aspect and then work away on it and see how you can improve. And so why not just pick one place, whether it's responsive or whether it's mobile or whether it's desktop. So that's my first favorite thing. All right, my second favorite thing is that you can check back on previous tests that you've done. Let me show you. Why don't we go into here, and we'll go into basic Joomla, into the back end of the site, and we'll log in, and I'm going to go to plugins, extensions, manage, and plugins. And then I'm going to go to JCH Optimized, which I have running, and also using it for the CDN that I'm using, Content Delivery Network that I'm using, have turned on. So if I turn this plugin off, all right, we go back to the home page here. Now notice over here on the left-hand side, we have a drop-down. And I can click and go down to New Report. So I'm going to generate a new report on the site now that I've turned JCH Optimize off. And as sometimes when you use page speed testers in other areas, oh, look at that, and it came up with the desktop. Maybe I changed that. Did I? Let's see. Anyways, what I want to show you is that over here now I have 2 tests and 2 reports that I can switch back and forth between. Okay, so this was still mobile. It just went back to this. It just went back to the desktop screen because I'm on here. So I can see that my test at 11:08, the score was 66, 81, 86, 99. And then I can go back here and say, what was my score at 11:10? I changed something. Oh, it went up. Interesting. Oh, is that just okay, so my speed went up when I turned that off. So maybe there's a setting in there I need to adjust. So I could go in there and I could change different settings, different things, or just keep working on aspects here. And I have this history of whether I'm getting better or the impact that had. And I don't have to kind of have different tabs open from previous tests or go back and forth. It's all handy there, right inside the screen. Sarah says he does not have the same performance. Well, I did some work to get the numbers up because they were pretty bad on this site. I've neglected it for a while. And one of the key things I did was I got rid of embedded things from YouTube. Just very quickly, I'll tell you. This is now a thumbnail. It's not the video. This is now a thumbnail. And this subscribe, I did a screen capture and pasted it in there. I actually think I did that as a Maintenance Monday or Watch Me Work live stream. And so this does not get called from YouTube. So there's a lot less script loading, and that made things faster. So we'll maybe look at that later on, and you'll see that in the replays there. So nice thing here, you can check back previous ones. Okay, and also if you want to just clear these, just hit this, and then you end up back. All right, so my third favorite thing, first 5 favorite thing, is that you can work on one category at a time. So let's see, I'm set on mobile here. Let's say I want to just concentrate on performance right now. So I'll turn off all these other categories here. Okay, let's just put this up a little bit and you'll be able, okay, so you just turn off, I'm just going to go performance. So we'll generate the report. Probably desktop mobile 6680. Yes, that's, and actually, you know, the other, we'll talk about this in a little while, but don't freak out too much about these numbers. We'll talk about that later. But everyone's trying to get 100 on these, and only people that it seems it's their reason to live is to get 100. I've seen some sites that scored 100. And they were, I could have 100 too if I didn't have images or anything on it. Anyway, so although there is something that's making Joomla sites run very fast that I'm going to learn. Anyway, so you can just focus on one category at a time. All we have here is performance. That's it. And that's pretty nice. Again, just to keep things broken down and working on things. Precisely. Ivor says it's Lighthouse for Chrome only. It's and Bjorn's answered it's in Mozilla. That's Firefox, and Chromium-based browsers like Brave, and also now Internet Explorer, or not Internet Explorer, whatever that is. What is that now? You know what it is. All right. So that's my third thing. You can work in one category at a time. My fourth thing is that you can mouse over things in the report and it will highlight them on the page. Edge, that's right, thanks. Ivor and Bjorn, Edge, Microsoft Edge. So let me show you this. So here we have eliminate render blocking resources. Let's open this up. Now here we have files. So we can click here. That's not one. Remove here. Let me do another scan here. Do new report, and let me bring in everything here because that will bring up something that I want to see here. All right. Bum, 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 bum. We'll let that run. Okay, now we're going to go down, and I think what we're looking for is images. Image elements do not have explicit width and height. Let's see here. So these images do not have an explicit width and height. So when I mouse over this, it will show me. And these are the images being shown for the asteroid logo sticky here. What I wanted to show you was that when you mouse over, oh come on, you're killing me here. Oh come on, here we go. But okay, buttons do not have accessible name. Button. When I mouse over it, it will show on the screen. Now this button is actually the off canvas button. It's up here. You can't see it because I have that turned off. But then down here, this is the button type. And whoops, hold on. It is this button at the bottom, I believe. If I go down to this, it's the scroll up button. This one's fighting me here. Come on. Let's go down to accessibility here. Oh, here, yeah, button. Which type button is it? There's a button on here that will highlight. Oh my goodness. Let me turn JCH back on. Let me do another scan. When I had this set up, it will highlight the logo on this one particular one. Okay, here we go. It's coming in. There we go. So let's go down here. Find one of these. Oh, serve images next gen formats. Okay, here we go. The logo. You are killing me too here. I swear last night when I was mousing over these, it was highlighting them on the page. Maybe it's because, maybe because this is the mobile. All right, sorry everyone. But that's what some of you tune in for anyways. Let's do a new report. Let's do it for desktop. Maybe that's what my problem is here. Who knows what my problem is? I've got one. Okay. So now we're going to do score for desktop. And we'll go down to image elements that do not have width. That's no. Let's see. Oh, but anyways, listen, it'll probably work for you at some point. The nice thing is that when you mouse over something down here, it will actually highlight it on the page and show what it's referring to. It is not doing it right now because I am because that's just how my luck goes. Not bad scores for my desktop here though, as you'll see. Let's do this one more time here. Clear storage. No, let's do another test. This works. It was doing it last night as I did a practice and a run through. Okay. 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 You keep trying. It will do it for you eventually. I do not know what situation that I was set up in there. Avoid chaining critical requests. Anyways, that was one of them. The other thing too is, and hopefully that this works, because my next one was not only can you highlight over an element here, and then to see hover over this and it will highlight up here, but if you click, it will take you right to the code. It'll take you right to the element, and that is going to work. As watch, we'll go to, let's see, eliminate render blocking resources. CSS family, the font. If I click on this, oh, it downloads the font file. It shows me the font file. That's not what I wanted. Remove unused JavaScript. That's got an error on it. Ensure text remains visible during font load. Okay, so those are fonts as well. If I mouse over this, then it will show me the actual image. So I know what I'm dealing with. That's the image or logo mobile. Let's try this one here. Yep. Now let's go down to accessibility. Buttons do not have an accessible name. Here's button close off canvas. Where's the code for that? It is right here. That's what I wanted to show you. Oh my goodness. So yes, you can mouse over something in the report and it will take you to where it is. The bootstrap file, where's that? That's going to show that file to me. Click on it, takes you there. Let's do another page here, one that's not going to do so well. My cybersalt.org site. All right. So F12 Lighthouse desktop will generate a report. Maybe I can get these two things working here. Lighthouse is gathering information about the page. Get my report here. Oh, so it's working on that too. Eliminate render blocking resources. Hopefully it's in dimensional CSS. Accessibility. Buttons do not have an accessible name. Off canvas. Links do not have a discernible name. Okay. Asteroid. Back to top square. All right, here we go. Let's scroll down here. And that is actually this back to the top square here on the right hand side. If I click, I can see in here that where the code is, and I don't have a name for that button. And so what I would want to do is go in and change the code. I already talked to Chayton, mentioned this to Chayton. So where you can put a name for the button and then you'll score higher on accessibility. Let's see if we find something else in here. It's my fault for these sites. Let's try another one here. I'm just trying to get that highlight thing working. Here's a site I need to do work on. All right. Let's generate that report. All right, so let's review. You can pick between desktop or mobile. That's my first favorite 5. You can check back on previous tests. You can work on one category at a time. You can mouse over in the report and it'll highlight on the page. I guess I did something to this site too. Eliminate blocking resources. No. Eliminate edges without. Okay, let's see here. These are for a sticky header. Serve static assets with an efficient cache policy. No, that's Google's accessibility. Buttons do not have accessible name. That's off canvas. Links do not. All right. look at it. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Once we kind of keep moving on, it's going to start happening. I'm just going to keep trying sites until I get it. Anyway, so down here. Oh, there it worked. The user back button. Thank you very much. When you mouse over here, what is this? This is background and foreground colors do not have sufficient contrast ratio. Okay, so there's a link in the footer. Oh, there we go. A link in the footer. Down at the bottom, not good enough contrast. And when I mouse over that, it highlights. That's what I wanted to show. And then if you click on that, it takes you right to the spot, to the element where it is. And if you want it, you could start to play around with the color here. And let me just turn that off. Oops, that's not what I turn off. Then you can go right to the spot and you can start to change the CSS here and then go and fix that in your template. So again, if we go back here, we could go down to accessibility. Let's click on it there, jumps down. Oh, that's cool. And then I have this asteroid back to top square. Look at that one's highlighting. Links do not have a discernible name. All right, you can just see it highlighting behind the top there. Also, user back button. Okay, that does not have a good, it's too low contrast, doesn't have enough of a contrast in it. Background and foreground colors do not have sufficient contrast. So it's not user friendly. So you can click there and go and find the code. And that's actually a widget that I put on my site for people to give feedback on the page. And so I could go in and change that. All right. We got there. Best practices. Oh, glad that finally worked. So yes, so you can highlight in the report and it will show you on the page if the element is showing, if it's visible. I guess that's it. Many other ones aren't. And also you can click and it'll take you right to the element and you can see the code. So, all right. So let's turn on here. I'm looking at the camera here. So there's my first 5 favorite things, and we will continue to look at things here, hang out, and also chat as we do when we're on the live stream. So if you're just here for those first 5, and the second 2 were rough, then thanks for tuning in. We're going to stick around and chat, but if that's all that you're here for, do appreciate your support of this channel and watching today. If you have not subscribed and this was helpful to you, or you're interested in what other things will almost work for me if I'm live, or as I'm doing tutorials now, pasting them on the site, or putting them on the channel, please subscribe. Ring the bell to get notifications of new things happening here on the channel. And we'll see you the next time. So if you're leaving now, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless. Hello, everyone who is staying. Okay. Yeah, let's do one more button here. That sounds good. Bjorn, I have not read it. I did see that you posted that review on your site, though. Yes, that's good. Bjorn's been putting a lot of good stuff out on his site. He's active. I've seen him promoting stuff in social media, too. It's really cool. Oh, look at this. Additional items to manually check. Okay, PWA checklist. What are those? Starts fast, stays fast, works in any browser, responsive any screen. Oh, that's for progressive web apps. Those are phone apps, I would guess. Yes, I think because they're built and enhanced with modern APIs to deliver enhanced capabilities. Okay. Manifest doesn't have a maskable icon. Does not provide a valid Apple Touch icon. For ideal appearance on iOS, when users add a progressive web app to the home screen, define an Apple Touch icon. Oh, I'm down in progressive web app stuff, yeah. I do not have a progressive web app to test. Document does not have a meta description. This is down in SEO. Huh. How did I do that? Oh, that would be helpful. That's the other thing that I didn't know, that there was an SEO score in Lighthouse. So we'll just test that. We'll see what's in there. System global configuration and the server system site, and lo and behold, I do not have a site meta description on there. I actually need to work on this page. I know you guys hear me say that, but my business coach is on me, mentioned for me to update it. Oh, and this is for cybersalt.org. Huh. Time to fix that up. This is cybersalt.com. Oh, right. System. Global configuration. Yeah, I need to do work on here because this is my... Now, with incorporating, it dawned on me, instead of presenting this as just me working on this, I need to make a site for the company. And so there is some work to be done. Mary says, nice view. You know, Mary sent me the cutest picture of her granddaughter yesterday. I haven't replied to that email yet, Mary, but oh my goodness, it melted my heart to see that. So that was partly because I was laughing too. It was so cute. But all right, so let's close a few things here before we get totally out of control. Basic Joomla, there's to close that. Now it is nice that that when you click on some of these things that are given, that it actually gives you the full site here, the full file. Now this is fonts.google API, so I can't edit this, of course, but it lets you see what is being loaded. You know, some of these, and again, let's talk about the score. There are people who, and it's probably why I would not post any of my projects on the Joomla. On the Joomla showcase area. There are some people who are pretty serious about page speed, and you see them in Facebook, and every now and then, someone will be talking about a topic and ask about speeding things up, and then they'll share the template that they use and talk about how it's the only one that gets 100, and that's all cool. It's great to be excited about that and to use those. But some sites, like I said before, that I've seen that have scored very fast, have no images, are very plain, and it's just not for me. And certainly, you're not going to sell a site like that to most clients, in the sense of saying that here's a super plain, empty site, and it's just not going to be great. Now, we should be trying for speed, but there's always going to be some things that you just cannot get 100% score in. So, for instance, if Google Fonts is loading, if you're using Google Fonts and it's loading reference to a bunch of other fonts just so that they're there ready to use, you can't edit those. You can't make that file smaller so it just loads to one. And maybe you don't want to make it smaller because it's loading fonts for other languages. So just keep working away at it and try. Now, earlier Bjorn was talking about what's a good score for mobile. Let's go to mobile, because typically your mobile score will be lower than your desktop score. So here we got 77. I'm pretty happy with 77 for my mobile score. Are there things to work on? Sure, that's what this tool is here. Like eliminate render blocking resources. There's some things. Oh, for instance, community profiler plugin. I think I'm gonna have a tutorial on how to block this because I don't use that on this page. So I was playing around the other day with how to get it not to load when it doesn't need to be loaded, and I have a little trick up my sleeve for doing that. So same thing with here's another community profiler one. All right. And we probably need the jQuery one. No conflicts. Migrate. Media system. We need those. But I know I can get rid of the top two to make them not load. CSS family. That's Google API. So that's not going to go anywhere. Font Awesome. I don't know if I'm even using... Oh, yeah, I probably am using Font Awesome there. I was actually thinking about buying a membership to Font Awesome so I can use all the fonts. Asteroid template, that's compiled. I need that. Same with that. Remove unused CSS. There's there's CSS is not getting used inside, but not all CSS gets used on every page, so probably not much I can do there. Font Awesome again. Pre-connect to required origins. That's something I want to look at for putting code in. So this is one of the things I'm trying to learn more about. So that would help my score a little bit. Remove unused JavaScript. It's not showing up in the test there. Minimize main thread work. Rendering. Smaller JS payloads. And again, there's lots of settings in JCH Optimize to try and play around with these things. Accessibilities. The buttons don't have an accessible name. I bet you I can fix that too with a little tweak, although it'd be cool if it becomes core in Asteroid. And then they have this, how to conduct an accessibility review, because Lighthouse doesn't do everything for you. Best practices include front-end JavaScript libraries, no security. Oh yeah, and this was coming up here too. jQuery 1.12.4. Now here's a case where if I click on it, oh, it's just going to show. I've got to figure out where this is getting loaded though. Serve images with low resolution. Oh, here's actually somewhere there's a graphic that's being loaded that is being displayed at 213 by 200. That's the size, but it's expecting this size. I wonder if it's this one here. That might be are we looking at mobile here? I forget. Let's see here. Oh, that square image, for some reason, is expecting 639 by 600. Interesting. Let's go have a look inside there. Administrator. Let's go content, featured articles, either Joomla fans. Let's click on that. 213, 213. Why is it expecting it to be bigger? Anyways, always, so you can really get lost trying to fix all this stuff and look at these things. SEO. Here's an interesting one for SEO. Tap targets are not sized appropriately. Let's check on that. Asteroid logo image. Oh, yes, that's right. When I'm not using that. Oh, there it is there. It thinks that this is 30 by 30. I don't know why it thinks that. Let's look. See, I hovered it, highlight it, I click and go and see. is it in lower here? Maximum 960. It is something I've changed. 240. I think this has to do with when I, instead of using setting this as the image in the asteroid header, that it's actually, I actually am using a module there. I could be wrong. No, I'm using logo wrapper. Lots of things to check into. All right, well, let's check out Bjorn's link here. Asteroid. Oh, we got an extra O in asteroid there. Test reviews, asteroid framework, special feature. Framework spec with features. Joomla's asteroid framework. Yeah, nice. I like how this is nice and open and airy too. You've got a couple of columns there. Functionality. Conclusion. Latest articles. Really cool. Yeah, you really got lots happening on this site now. I like that. And Mary, you have done a lot of work in your mysites.guru account, and now it's my control panel. Oh, cool. Yeah, there's a lot that you can customize in mysites.guru for reports and that. I've not looked into doing that myself, but excellent. Yeah, it's nice to be able to white label stuff for your own use. Okay, so what else is happening out there? Do you know we had a huge windstorm last night, a really good windstorm, and it was raining. In fact, just above my office here is our dining room, and there's a sliding door, and when the wind pounds on the back and it pours, it leaks. And so I had to get a towel because it was dripping here last night. So anyways, but guess what happened with my fence? So for those of you that put this back there. All right. So for those of you that don't know, I live next to a gravel pit that's being developed in a subdivision. Long story short, they put up a new fence, a new wood fence. They asked me if I'd like a fence. I said yes, and so they put it in. And then first windstorm, it started to lean a little bit, and then we got a big windstorm, and it was really leaning over, and one of the panels was kind of broken out of it. So they came and put more concrete on it and stood it up straight, and then we had a windstorm again, and it was leaning a little bit in some spots. It seemed to be better, but then last night it was like super crazy windy, and now it's over probably, I don't know, is it 10 degrees? It might be 10, 15 degrees off of straight up and down. Yes, yeah. Wind plus fence equals, I have to take another picture and send it down to them. I feel bad because it was a free fence. So I don't want to be that, guy in the neighborhood who's complaining about his free fence. So I am very kind and cheery with the people. But I'm going to send them another picture. And the problem is the ground that they put the fence in gets very soft when it rains. But having said that, there were actually fence posts that were in the ground that the guy that I bought this house off of had put in the fence. So we've been here 25 years. And there were actually still some fence panels up in the same location. They're fine. So they're in the same ground. I think it just needs deeper posts and more concrete, but anyways, yeah, that's but boy, it was super stormy and rainy here. The west coast of Canada, especially down where we are, not so much up north where it's colder, although it might be. Anyways, it's a rainforest. Technically it's a rainforest, And so we can get incredible downpours of rain just coming straight down, just heavy, just saturating rains. There's places here on the island that will get 100 millimeters, which is, let's see, it's like 4 inches of rain overnight in a storm. So that's incredible. Last night, so we had incredible rain, but it was one of those incredible down-flowing rains, but it was actually coming at 45-degree angle because of the wind. So Mount Cain. No, we don't have Mount Cain. We have Mount Washington. Mount Washington can often have the most snowfall in North America. They've had 20 feet of snow in a winter up there. And actually, this is a big La Nina year. So when La Nina years, we get a lot of rain, a lot of snow. So let's see, Mount Washington in British Columbia. Yeah, let's go see the webcam. Let's go to the snow report here. What did they get? Overnight, 20 centimeters. So 100 centimeters to a meter. So 20 centimeters, just a few inches there. But the snow base on the Whiskey Jack run is 340 centimeters. That is 3.5 yards of snow. That's the base up there. Let's go back to their webcams here. There it is there. It's beautiful sunny day. After the storm, it's a beautiful sunny day here on the island. So the sun is shining. Things will hopefully dry out. And there's a lot of people up there. We actually just had a young man pass away on up at Mount Washington. He was skiing, came down with 4 buddies, left the top of the hill. Only 3 made it to the bottom. When they went back and found him, he had fallen in a tree well. And what that is, there's so much snow up there that around the trees, they end up with no snow down to the bottom because the branches protect out. So you end up with a 3 meter, a 3 yard, a 9 foot hole. And what has happened a couple times over the years is that snowboarders or skiers have fallen into those, especially if they fall in head first and they get stuck in there. They can't get out because they're very narrow space around the trunks. There's just space where it's down to the ground, but all in the snow, and they suffocate from lack of oxygen. So yeah, William says he missed the ski season. William, where did you go? Where did you ski? Did you come up to Canada to ski, or plenty of places to ski in the States? But yeah, so that was tragic. We had a young teenager years ago was skiing with his dad and ended up. They showed video of him falling into a tree well, but his dad saw him go in and was able to get him out. So, but every now and then someone dies in a tree well. Anyways, it's but look at that. It's a sunny day up there. All those people going to have good times. We did a family vacation up at Mount Washington, and my son at that time was 13 or 14, and I said to myself in my mind, do not try to race the teenager because you're going to get hurt. So anyways, I did try to race a teenager later on that day, and I had a massive, all raggedy Andy flying through the air, hat and skis and poles going all over, landed on my head. Fortunately, I did not, I was not injured, but I did afterwards realize that I had broken my rule, which was don't race a teenager. Ivor says he doesn't miss winter. He's longing for summer. Yeah, growing up in Ontario, I always thought I would miss the snow. But moving to the West Coast, I quickly found out I don't miss the snow. I miss it around Christmas. Like if we get some snow the week of Christmas and have it Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, that's great. Maybe even New Year's Eve. That's kind of fun. Nice storm to keep you feel toasty warm inside. But not for months and months and months. Now, tomorrow is 1 year since I left my house to go and travel to Forum for the Future in Spain. And that was a snowstorm that I left in. And there's also snow while I was away. So we can still get snow here on the island. We averaged about 14 centimeters, which is probably, was that 4 or 5 inches? Well, that's 4 inches probably. So we do, but not anything crazy. I like the snow being where you can drive to it to enjoy it, like these folk are here. Yanis, I am well and safe. And Yanis, congratulations on the 7th anniversary of Web 357. I saw that post a couple days ago. I was actually going to comment on it. One of those, I'll comment on it later. But 7 years, congratulations. William skis in Pennsylvania. But the beer virus stopped things. The beer virus? COVID? Oh, yes, COVID. Corona. Gotcha. It's like, what, is that a typo? Ivor says minus 15 degrees in Madrid a couple days ago. Yes, I saw that. They had a crazy storm there. Yeah. So, yeah, everything has changed in that last year. Of course, I was thinking, because last year when I headed to the airport to go to Spain, the virus is already beginning to circulate in the world. Had been for a while, and for weeks at least. So I was just that was a different time. And we will get back to that in time. The province I grew up in now has a second lockdown, complete lockdown, because of things getting out of control. Quebec, the province of Quebec here in Canada, they have a curfew at night now. And I think in British Columbia, our numbers are starting to go down, but we're still getting like 400 and something cases a day. So we're until February the 7th, not allowed to go and socialize in someone else's house. You can only be in the house. You can only be in the house that you live in. And there are some other cases, like if you live alone, you're able to go and be a part of someone else's household for gatherings, but it has to be done to avoid. We do have, I think we do have one hospital here in my province that has brought in a trailer for because the morgue is full. So that's probably in the lower mainland where there's a lot more cases. But anyways, what else? What else is happening? Yanis, what's the next extension that you're going to work on? I should get you on a Watch Me Work live stream. I think I mentioned it before. Do you have any new projects that you're working on? Limit active logins. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, if you can post that. Is that so that one person can only be logged in at a time in their account? So for instance, if I give my account information to someone else because I've paid for something and they use it and they log in and I log in at the same time. Okay, cool. That's excellent. Now that's a good idea coming from someone who makes a living selling extensions. You don't want people just sharing their logins. And I guess you're going to have a feature where I have to have you onto the live stream to show us that when you launch it. If you want to do that, when it's ready to launch, have it. I'd love to have you on the live stream here. I wonder if are you going to have a setting where if an account is logged into at the same time more than X number of times that it's disabled? So that if my account gets logged in, it's being used like 4 times. Oh, you're going to do that? Okay, cool. Are you going to have it so that is it going to track? So if my account logs in from Canada and then the United States in an hour and then Europe in another hour. Although if someone were using a VPN in order to do testing and do different things, that could happen. Anyways, I like that. That's a cool feature. And Yanis, are you doing that for Joomla and WordPress? Are you doing it just for Joomla right now? Do you build your Joomla extensions and then do a WordPress copy, or do you kind of do them side by side? We really need to get you on here for a live stream. Get your face on here too. Only for Joomla. Okay. Well, that will be a neat one. That will be a neat one for anyone selling memberships. Hey, I think that, did I see this in the forum? Michael says, thank you for the cookies policy notification bar. And hello, Michael. Something that somebody, was asking about in a forum was, this changes here, was an extension where people could see X number of articles behind a paywall before buying an account. I thought that was interesting too. Someone asked me about that, if there's one existed. I think it was a client that asked me if that existed. Because I remember thinking that I don't think that exists, but down the road something we could get someone to program or make. So, yeah. It would be handy. I don't know how many people. Probably paid memberships is not. I wonder what percentage of sites use paid memberships. I know there's lots of sites that use memberships that people have to log in to do things like access a forum. But I wonder actually how many do that. William, you think there's one that, unless it was 2.5 for Joomla 1. Okay. Let's see. It's so nice watching these happy people skiing here. But let's see. Limit number of articles read Joomla paywall. Let's see. Limit the number of articles written by a user. Restrict access to read more. The big difference between Asteroid and Helix framework, Ed's is asking. William, you remember when you were running your Toyota site? Okay, so there is something. So Ed said, I do not know the exact difference between Asteroid and Helix framework. I think that I think on Asteroid, some of their templates are in that. Asteroid is their own framework that they started developing. But I was talking to Chayton the other day about this Christmas. Is this Christmas sale ever going to end? But apparently, people like a sale, and it's still working. So let's go to templates, products, templates. Their older templates are on the are on Helix, right? I think was the case. Let's go back here. Like I think let's go back to an old one. Oh, they were on T3. They're on T3, which that's a different thing, isn't it? Yes, it ends in 11 hours. Grab it while you can at Joomla. I don't really know the exact difference between Asteroid and Helix. Let me see if Chayton is on here. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm just going to phone him. How do I phone him? I find the graphic here. All right. Let's call him up. Oh, come on, man. He said no. I have a question to ask you live on my channel. All right. He's probably busy with a client. So we'll see. You could install default Joomla with Asteroid and one with Helix, and then probably the features available, and then start comparing. Yeah, yeah, he's in a meeting. Whatever. Let's see here. Let's ask this person. I'm going to ask Mark DeChevre. He's on Skype here. I'll ask him and see if he answers. Someone asked. We'll see if he comes on there. Just because he shows he's online doesn't necessarily mean that he is. We'll see what he says here. All right. Michael says he's used Helix a lot, but he prefers Asteroid. Yeah, and so you could compare the features. Helix framework. Let's see. Helix framework from Joom Shaper. I think I tried to have this. If this is who I'm thinking of it, who it is. Is this Cashwar? I wonder if it's Cashwar. I did try to have Cashwar on to show his framework. But, oh, look at that. I use Helix on tens of websites. Look at that. Look at that. Mark DeChevre, he uses Helix on tens of websites. I know Mark is using Asteroid now, so this is maybe an old quote. Anyways, I tried to have Cashwar on, and unfortunately he had a death in the family the day that he was coming on, and it just never connected again. Ivor seems that Asteroid is faster, but you've not done your measurements. Yeah. What do we have for... yeah, they will have... that's a detailed description. Search and optimize fastest template framework. Child beautiful websites. Build beautiful websites. So it is yeah, you probably would just have to run and try a comparison. I'm not sure if I've ever used that, if I've ever used Helix. I know once I had Chayton on the channel 2 years ago and I started using it, I really liked Asteroid, and it really helped me to start to have more control over things, and I started liking designing things again. Michael says layouts of other software components are better with Asteroid. And Edzo, that's a nice challenge for the weekend. Yes. You could just do it. You could put out a little review of it too. You could I think too that frameworks are a matter of what clicks with you too. So, for instance, you might be a rocket theme person and really know how that works, and you just like their approach, and so you work with it. So I think, probably all things being equal, if frameworks are pretty close for speed and for functionality and things like that, you're going to accomplish more by using something that clicks with you. I was going to say that makes sense, but makes sense to you. You're going to accomplish more on something like that than you are struggling with something that you don't know. Although, having said that, it's good to learn things. And also, if I can use a dirty word for the channel here, it's not that bad. But I have some clients that have WordPress sites, and for months have really been struggling trying to just do things naturally and quickly. Just knowing that someday it would join together in my head. And I'm using Elementor, which is a framework in WordPress. And I would say in the last couple of days, it's just started to click for me. I kind of have a game plan working on these sites for these clients. And to the point where I've been able to start showing how to do things on it for them or for people that I have that are working on their sites. So, yes, getting serious. A review. Sure, you could post a review. You could work. You could work with Bjorn on his Joomla Forever, and post a review of what you found comparing them. But definitely give it a try. All right. Well, what else have we got here? We haven't been to the Facebook extensions thing. Don't forget yesterday, Joomla 3.9.24. And it is out. Also, I saw somewhere on Twitter that George Wilson was saying he thought that there's only one beta version left for Joomla 4, and then we're into release candidates. So hopefully that will happen. Let's go here. So that's exciting. Mary says, you think Elementor is the one you like the most for WordPress. You tried a few others, but they didn't click. Yeah, and I'll tell you what didn't click for me was the templates in WordPress. Is like so different for managing. But then there is a template in Elementor called Hello. And it's just a plain empty template, and then you use Elementor to build things, and that is what really has put gas in the fire for me to be able to figure out how to do that to work on sites. Because some of the sites the few sites that I've been doing, they've needed updates to something current, so I've been redoing them in Elementor, and instead of trying to make Elementor work in some other template, trying to find it, it's just working. I'm a dumb guy using WordPress. and but it's working for me. Joomla 4 introduced new exciting features, gives you ways to log into your Joomla site faster. This is the Facebook group for Joomla extensions. I'll paste that here in chat here. And some discussion there about that. Here's someone you're saying that he moved from WordPress to Joomla because the same page open would have a different URL. And then Yannick Gauthier will say that his extension sh404 SEF. No, he didn't say it, but that's his extension, Unique sh404 SEF. That takes care of duplicate URLs in Joomla. Joomla recipe 1.2.6.2. New recipes, layout, and drop of mail to integration. SPLMS. Cannot find some words. There's some translation issue. Eugene from Nor Competition. Photo and video voting contest extension. Yeah, we've looked at that. Premium templates and themes. How to track your Joomla e-commerce website using Google Analytics. Oh, it's in Joomla Shine. Is that a tutorial or is it a video? It is a tutorial. I mean, a video can be a tutorial, but it's text. Oh, they did a lot of work to do all these screenshots, though, and explain that. That's great. I like that. Hey, and Bjorn posted there. Excellent. And Imran. This guy got roasted for his comparison of Joomla versus Drupal. And the reason he got roasted was because he has a WordPress site that's doing that where he has that posted. Anyways, I wouldn't roast him for it, but so although someone did say that was just another one of those comparisons for driving for clickbait. But anyways, I like clicks too. I mean, I do some of my thumbnails to try to get clicks, so don't want to be too judgy. Joom RSS. I just bought this yesterday. Remember OBRSS from Fubla, and Fubla, I don't know where they are. They're gone. But Joom Boost took on all of their extensions, and my client asked for RSS feeds back on his site, so I bought that yesterday and going to add it. What we got happening here? Okay, so here's Mark DeChevre. Mark says he's not available right now, but he says they're similar in spirit. This is Helix and Asteroid. He says, but in my honest opinion, Asteroid has more options, which makes it more flexible. See, for example, the header options. So that's why Mark likes it. Let's see. I'm going to tell them. I told them you were using Asteroid now. LOL, we went to the Helix site and saw your picture and recommendation of Helix. All good fun. Anyway, so Joomla really nice for setting up RSS feeds. My client actually had RSS feeds on the site, and he didn't know if anyone was using them, so we took it off, and actually it had been broken for a while. I think someone was using RSS feeds that were built into Joomla, and then when we went with a different, when we relaunched the site, or with the new template, we actually, that broke, or maybe the guy didn't realize that it was broken. Anyway, so I'm putting this back on. Mark says, my recommendation was true and sincere. They were the best at that time. It was 2017. Yeah. 2017. Here's someone. He says that Joomla World Conference, they were present and sponsors. What use stealth disable click? We've seen that. We talked about that too, disabling right click on sites. Let's see. Focal top menu module version 4. Oh, I don't know. What's this? Yanis there is talking with them. Focal top menu module. Oh, so this is created in only for Joomla 4. All right, so you guys are having a discussion there about that. Car dealer, JMG car dealer. Cool. I was looking at a car dealership extensions months and months and months ago when one contacted me or about a website. They had a Joomla site. I actually did not quote very fast enough on it because they were looking for something, and I checked in with Chayton to develop something so that you could put in a VIN number and auto-populate all the information about the car. So someone, if they picked up a car that they were selling, they could put the VIN number in, vehicle identification number, and then they could, it would just fill in the listing and show the information. Do they have a demo here? Oh, you just got RSS Factory, Mary. You have it working on a site and will be adding to your personal site, the PHP Factory. The component I'm using is, and we can load it here. Let me just see the PHP one that you're using. First of all, let's see here. There's the car dealer. The demo here. Okay, so RSS Factory. Let me go into a no secrets basicjoomla.com because I'm not going to wreck my live sites anymore. Administrator, not that this is going to wreck my live sites, but this site, but let's log in. Let's go extensions, manage and install. Oh, I still need to update more sites to the latest Joomla. I'm going to upload a package, and I'm going to browse, and I'm going to go to Joomla 3. Joom Boost. The thing I like about this RSS is Joomla RSS is that you can set up feeds based on different plugins as well. So let's see, here's the feed manager. Let's make a new feed. Whoops, that's not a good sign. Sample feed. No, that's not working. Let's see, global configuration. Let's turn on error reporting. Extensions, components, okay. Oh, home, basic, no secrets, basic Joomla components, com. What's my fatal error here? Oh, com K2. Oh, okay, because I don't use K2. So let's go into components, Joom RSS. Go to plugins. Let's find the K2 one. Interesting that these are all here published instead of me turning them on. So if I uncheck K2, let's go back here and hit refresh. Oh, and look at that static property RSS entry component. So I'm going to do this then. Components, Joom RSS, plugins. I'm going to select them all. It's great that there's so many plugins, because if you want to have a RSS feed for your RS Events Pro, you've got it down here. But it looks like if you don't have them running, you have a problem. So let's do content. And what else do I have on the site here? I think that's all I have. So now I should be able to go here. There we go. Now, if I turn off, let's see here. I have to not take that call right now. Go back here, system global configuration, turn off errors back to none. See, wasn't this good that I didn't break my live site? All right, so, and we'll refresh. All right, so let's go back here. Let's make a new feed, and I'm going to call it test. And this is a test feed. This is a test feed. All right, and then what's the data source? So I'm going to use the data source as content, right? Do I want to show front page items only? Yes or no? Do I want to show articles only that are featured? Access to this feed, the level, so you've got ACL stuff, category. Do you want this feed to be filtered by access level of the category with above? Authors, do you want to show a feed for only the particular author that you have? So you can, what I really like is that you can really drill down and make individual feeds. So you can have, you can show front page articles about cats that are written by Tim Davis. Tags, choose which tags to filter. It was a really great extension that Fubla had, and I hope the guy is okay. I hope he just made $1 million and retired and disappeared. But keywords filter, text, show intro image, all kinds of things. The strip text SCF. What else we have? Feed options, caching time, global author, override feed author, but a site map, how often it changes, general, and then feed burner. You could copy this, the URL of it, to feed burner. That's actually where my client's user that contacted him noticed that he said his feed burner was not working. And then iTunes podcast did not know that. Although, if you have anchor.fm, let me just show you what I set up for a client. We have Joomcast on anchor.fm. I set this up for a client for church that I am doing and setting up their podcast So putting their sermons on Anchor.fm instead of hosting it right on their Joomla site. And what happens is, oh look, they're getting good traffic to things now. If you view the public site, you automatically, by putting things on Anchor, you guys, many of you have seen this before, you get added to these different podcast places, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Now, what's not here, interestingly enough, is an Apple podcast, but it's just not showing on that list there because they actually did get automatically set up for an Apple podcast as well. So the nice thing is that for a feed, you could create a feed on your site showing the podcast link and different things in it. Anyway, so that's why I went with that one. I knew it. I forgot about that factory one. That's a new one. I've heard of that before, but I just was with OBRSS for such a long time. Yeah, listen, if you've got people out there that are putting recordings online, get them to do Anchor.fm. It is super nice. Just alone for getting added to all these things. And then, of course, then people can talk about progressive web apps, then people can use their existing podcast apps for following your client stuff. It's great value in adding setting this up. To go to each one of these systems and to Apple and to set up a podcast. And I'll tell you, I have also changed the image and changed the name at Anchor.fm, and it filters through to all of the services. Oh, okay. RSS Factory is to display other RSS feeds, so it's different. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So it aggregates other RSS feeds. Okay. Yeah, that's nice too. I had a site years ago that I did for a guy. I kind of did it on spec. He was lying to clients about how much traffic we were getting, so I just bailed on that project. But we had it set so that I think maybe this was another Fubla one, or no, Auto Tweet. Anyways, we had it set so that when there was we were following, because of the sports site, we were following university websites, and they would put out news about their teams. And when there was a new story about their team, then they would go on an RSS feed. The website would grab that article, would create a Joomla article out of it, and this was allowed for reusing the news that was put out in these news releases. And then it would create an article, and then it would send out the news of the new article on social media, and it would run all night and do that. So it was pretty cool. I thought that was a neat setup. I like this sermon title too. They're doing a series, Lovers in a Dangerous Time, talking about life in the pandemic here. So, all right, back here. And I like this, Bjorn, when you had that, don't make this silly mistake in 2021 with your Joomla website. We were talking about clickbait. Yeah, you gotta get people's attention. So that's what, when I do my plans for success in 2021, that's right up there. So I thought that was cool to see you doing that. Yeah. Focal Gallery version 4.4 is released. The COVID-19 extension by Joomla. And then we're going to get to a sale. 18 best Joomla page builders for your website. There you go, Edsa. There's one to read. I think I looked at this. What was it here? Let's see. Yeah, they got a lot here. I don't think Asteroid was Asteroid even listed on here? Oh, JD Builder. Yeah, JD Builder. So, anyways, yeah. Okay, what else we got? June Boost Year 2020 in review. Audio player. Add AA click to call. Nice. Christmas gifts. There you go. There's the Joom Dev Christmas sale, December 29th. It was still on then. Yanis likes U-theme page builder. That's the one that you like to use. Good. U-theme. Let's check that out. U-theme. WordPress themes. Joomla templates. U-theme. Yanis, what about U-theme makes that your favorite? $5, $10, or $25. Oh, they're doing it. They have build monthly. Sass. They're sassy. I figured you were probably still there, Edsa. Oh, UI Kit Framework. Yes. You know who else likes UI Kit Framework? Vinny, who is on the channel from time to time. Don't see too much of him lately, but yeah, he really likes the UI Kit Framework as well. Yes, and that's got some really cool things in it for there's an example of using something that you know and that you really like, because the UI kit, it's got a lot of really nice things that has a lot of features built right into it. Once you get to know it, then you can do some powerful things with it. Just the same with any of the frameworks, which goes back to my point. Find something that you like and that clicks with you, and you'll be able to do lots. You developed by the same team of you guys, yeah. Chuck says that Vinny's doing a new podcast. Yeah, that's the podcast he's doing with his business partner, right? The two big guys or something like that podcast. Vinny and I had talked about doing a podcast, but I just didn't have time to edit it. And then, of course, it makes sense. Yeah, so it makes sense for him to do it with his business partner as well, because they have that entertainment business together. So I was happy to see him do that. Chayton and I have thought about doing a podcast, just the two of us. We have the one about Joomla, which we've not been doing because we're just so busy, but actually just for us to talk about things. Yeah, they do have fun. So anyways, Chayton and I have considered that too. But right now, it's just the time to actually... Talking is not the problem, it's the actual editing. And I guess we could get someone else to edit it, but I kind of like I don't know, maybe something I have to let go of. Man, I'm letting go of a lot of stuff. Last night, I was up working on projects to get information. So, for instance, my friend Rick from Smart Drive Test, he has his YouTube channel. He's getting tons of comments on videos, and he needs someone to help him manage them. So I've hooked him up with someone overseas who's actually someone who fled for their life to another country. I've been working getting him set up to manage comments for my friend. So yeah, as I build a team and as I work on things, I'm finding myself spending more and more time on that. Also, my accountant. Yeah, so I mentioned that I was going to have an accountant do stuff for me this year. Now that I've incorporated the company, my business incorporated now. And so I've been spending a lot of time setting things up so I don't have to do things. So when I receive payment, or if I make a credit card payment, I actually just forward the notice of it now in my email to ClickUp, and it creates something for him, and he enters it, and I just, anyway, so yeah, spending a lot more time team building. And so yeah, that does not, that, so as far as getting someone else to edit the podcast, maybe down the road I'll find someone who can do it. But it becomes a, part of building a team is like, you got to let go and let other people do things the way that they would do them. Or maybe if they do things a little bit different than you pictured them, because you can't, that's the difference between having a team and having robots. So yeah, so anyway, so Vinny's podcast, they do have, he and his business partner do have fun. His business partner is surprisingly not very technical with technology. But that has been, yeah, so I've listened to a bit. All right, anything else, anybody? Because otherwise I think it's time for me to grab some breakfast. You know what I've been doing? So I'm a late night person. Forgive me if some of you hear this stuff over and over again, but I'm a late night person, and I start to wake up around, I don't know, 10 in the evening. So I was talking about it with my wife, and again, just how I get so much done during the night. Oh, excuse me. And she said, why don't I just go with that? Why don't I just, if that's the time to work, why don't I just go with that schedule? I'm able to. So a number of nights this week, I have gone to bed at 5 in the morning. Yesterday, I slept until 1 o'clock. But I went to bed, I think, at like 5:30. But I've been finding like 10 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning pretty efficient for me. Now, interestingly, last night around 7:30, I got really tired. So 7:30 in the evening, so I laid down, because I had a lot of work to do. So I laid down in front of the fireplace and slept for an hour and a half and got up so I could make it through the night working. But anyway, so that has been working for me. It puts me out of kilter for some things. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, lots of things are changing for me because this more than 3 years now and being full time, I'm actually developing those working muscles to just sit at the desk and work. And I can listen. My desk has, what is today? Today's the 13th. My desk has been cleaned every night since I got it cleaned up at the end of the year. At the end of the night, I just tidy things up so it's fresh for me to come down in the morning. I keep it tidy during the day, and I'm working on one thing at a time. In fact, I had last night a note on a piece of paper that of something that I need to do, and I knew I needed to get some sleep, so I thought I'll just leave this on the desk. And I thought, wait a second, I don't want to leave notes on my desk and fall behind. So yeah. Anyways, so having that clutter gone is super helpful for getting me to the next level of what I need to do for the work that I'm doing. So William's normal schedule, usually up between 11 to 1. Yeah. Yeah. So you are working your night job, so you're 3 a.m. sleep at 5 a.m. and up between 11 to 1. So you at your job till 3 a.m. Yeah. So I'm self-employed. I can do that. So it's something that not everybody can do. But anyways, and I don't know how long I'll keep it going. But right now, I just have a ton of stuff to do, fiddly things. But the more I get organized, the more energized I am to realize what life could be like once things are humming along and we get better at things. So Because I am not. I used to have people. I've been told that I was a workaholic or I had an A-type personality, which is not true. Uh, I guess I'll do a lot of work that has to be done, but I don't live to work. Like, I don't feel alive when I'm working. I really enjoy working, and I'm enjoying building my business, and I'm enjoying so much of what I do. But I just have yeah, I don't want to just work. I um I don't want to see my identity in what I do, and I don't. So you're welcome, Bjorn. Anyways, so I think I'll wrap it up there. Yeah, it's a balance of life. You're right, Chuck. Um, when you're at a funeral and they read a eulogy, sure they maybe include your history, the jobs that you worked, but that's, I don't want at the end of my life just things to be read off what I did. Anyways, I don't want to get too deep on that. Mary is off for breakfast as well. Your goats are crying for some hay. Yes, Niver, things go much better if you like what you do. Yep. Yes. The trick, though, is that if you are doing something that you like and you start doing it for money, sometimes it can become a real drag, because we like to do stuff that we have done to choose, not because we have to in order to make the money. But that's just, life is a balance. So everybody, I think I will wrap it up there. Let me find the correct button here. Thanks for tuning in today. Pretty cool that Lighthouse, Google Lighthouse is right there in Element Inspector. Set up super nice to help us get the best performance out of our sites. It is great visiting. Thanks to everybody that was sharing and making comments. Yes, we will see you next week live, but you will see me in other videos when I put them out, which I'm working on, which I'm trying. All right. So everybody, I hope you are well where you are, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow. So until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.